All right, in this video, we're going to talk about just how to fish mangroves. So we're fishing mangroves. I actually recommend, if you've never fished a mangrove line before, I recommend doing it first with artificial lures, just so you can find the pockets of fish. In most cases, really in all cases, 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. So rule number one is just to find the fish. In my opinion, the best way to do that is to get a search bait, kind of like a paddle tail on a jig head. This is one of our Slam Shady paddle tails. And it's on a Texas eye jig head. This is more weedless than a traditional jig head, which is great. And Joe here has a jerk bait.
Show me the go.
This is the Alabama Leprechaun. So we're both rigged, pretty weedless. So that way we can get up there, we can cast aggressively, we can get up there close to the trees where most of the fish are in the cover ground. And then we can find the fish, catch one or two, and then if we want to do live bait, we can come back later, and there's probably going to be more in there. Otherwise, we just keep fishing and we just find a lot of the fish. And so what you need to be focused on, again, is always think about, we teach this in the club, is that, the 90-10 rule. And so every cast, you need to be thinking about, okay, why would a fish be there? So in this case, we have a mangrove shoreline, and it's very erratic, where it has a lot of points. So here's a point here, and then right on both sides of the point is a cove. And so in most cases, these predators, if you're casting over the trees, stop it. But in most cases, these predators use these points in the coves to ambush prey. So I always cast at every point, and you can get on both sides. So now we're on this side of the point, and so I'm going to cast just right across the point. That way I can reel my line right along the trees as close as possible to those mangroves right on the point. Because again, that's where statistically, I just got one right there. Statistically, those fish are going to be right on the point, and that was a perfect example. And so it hit literally right on the point. It came decent size. It came right off that point there, and came up and smacked the paddle tail. This is a solid fish.
Yeah. Nice snooky, dude.
And that's going to be most of the case. So points, especially this. Oh, there it goes. It says quick release. But especially this time of the year, points are incredibly important. So make sure to fish every point. And then now that we know there's some there's probably going to be some close by as well. So we'll go down a little bit slower. And again, just every cast. So points and coves. Points and coves. So that point was working. I'll actually get another cast by it, see if it has one of its buddies there. Sometimes when one of those snooks starts thrashing around, the others think it's feeding, and they get fired up. So you can catch a lot of them real quick. Otherwise, Joe just had an excellent cast. That jerkbait is excellent for skip casting. And so what Joe's doing is he's punching up into those mangroves, punching up in, right now the sun's up pretty high, it's starting to get hot. The cooler water is up under the trees. And so Joe's doing some nice good skip casts and just skipping it way up under the branches.
Got to go weedless on that, which is one nice thing about owner twist lock hooks.
Yep.
Rigged on the Leprechaun.
And I lost, I should never get this close to the trees. You
lost power?
My focus.
Oh. I'm going to cruise it right by this point.
Yeah, and so generally I like to stay at least 30 feet off the trees. And we're just going to go buzz that point. Joe's getting the first round. And I'm getting my line, if Joe will get out of the way, I'm getting my line just to go right up along the branches. Even though we're this close, sometimes they do come up and pop it. Generally, I like to stay out a little bit further away. Just lost track with that snook action. But again, just want to do this tip on just the importance of just thinking about where you cast.
Oh, look at all these mullet being spooked out of here.
Okay, sweet. So that's a good sign. There's probably more fish. But look for bait when you're fishing these mangroves. Look for any kind of activity. That's going to increase the odds that there's going to be fish around.
The 3 B's, baby: birds, bait, boils.
And just cover ground. Again, for many years, I thought that I just had to use live bait. And so I wouldn't even fish until I had a whole live well full of bait fish.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
I'm on.
And
right when that hit, oh, look at all this big mullet there.
Oh, man, these fish are getting off today. But for many years, we wouldn't even fish until we had a whole live well full of bait fish. And sometimes we spent an hour catching them if the bait were hard to get. And then in reality, all you need is a good lure and just practice casting and just think about where you're casting, right? Points and coves, get on every single nook and cranny you can get. really anything that one of these ambush predators, snook, redfish, sea trout, flounder, they're all ambush predators. Just anything that they'll be holding next to ambush their next meal. And that's the benefit of lures. If you keep that in mind and you're a good caster, you can just get your lure in front of so many fish that it actually puts the advantage on you relative to live bait, which is just hard to, you just can't fish live bait quickly. You can't cover ground. And so unless you're fishing all the time, like every day or multiple times a week, it's really hard to get consistently good results with live bait. Goes against what I thought for many years, but that's just been what I found once I started putting more time into lures.
For those who are new to us, right, we're saltstrong.com. We're an online fishing club. We specialize in inshore saltwater fishing. We have a catch more fish or it's free guarantee. So if you haven't yet tried it, highly recommend giving it a shot. And if you haven't yet claimed your lures, these are the Slam Shady paddle tails. We've done a lot of testing. These things have proven to work. And we're now offering a free pack to all fishermen, max 1 per household. So click down below. I'll put a link down for details. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time and watching this video. Hope to see you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.